the movie that's in Lady Bird's head is not the movie that we're watching. So like she's got an idea in her head of like how this is all going to go with the guy and the new best friend and that whole thing, and she's going to be a writer and she'll escape to the woods and it'll all be perfect. And of course that's not the way it works out.
I was working on the script and I was writing it and I kept hitting some kind of a wall. And then I put everything aside and I just don't know where it came from. I wrote at the top of the page, "Why won't you call me Lady Bird? You promised that you would." And I looked at it and I thought, who's this person who's making people call her this name?
Lady Bird, is that your given name?
Yeah.
Why is it in quotes?
I gave it to myself. It's given to me by me.
I knew she'd read the script, and then we were set up on a Skype call, and we instantly got very giddy. Yeah. So just looking at each other's faces.
Still happens now, doesn't it?
It does still happen.
Still have that effect on me.
You had me at hello.
I don't know why I touched your ear. I read this girl who's sort of in this in-between moment in her life, and she's figuring things out and she hasn't quite arrived anywhere yet, and I liked that. Like from scene to scene she's essentially like trying on all these different characters and seeing which one fits. From then on, once we started working together on it, it was just this like amazing discovery of who this girl was.
So did you feel like you got to know Lady Bird as you played her?
As I played her, yeah. It wasn't one of those things that, you know, from day one, I personally had it all figured out. I think it was very much like from moment to moment.
We got the haircut and the kind of the bright red hair that looked like she did it herself, and Saoirse was totally open to it. You were like, yeah, great, let's give me that sort of bad dye job. Like, let's do this.
Biggest relationship is mother-daughter.
Yeah.
Saoirse, did you relate to that?
Absolutely. I mean, any opportunity to celebrate and honour a mother and daughter's relationship, you should do it. I'm very, very close to my mum, and I think the thing about it is that they're these two people that love each other so desperately and unconditionally, but they just don't understand where the other one's coming from at this point. And so it was really important for the three of us, Greta, Laurie and myself, to like map out, you know, each argument and what each one meant and the trigger points in each scene and which ones were emotional and which ones were more sort of hot-headed.
My name is Lady Bird.
Well, actually, it's not, and it's ridiculous.
Call me Lady Bird like
Christine.
you said you would.
You should just go to City College. You know, with your work ethic, just go to City College and then to jail and then back to City College, and then maybe you'd learn to pull yourself up and not expect everybody to do everything.
And is it true that the car scene was one of the first scenes you shot together, or is that something?
Oh, no, it was one of the last scenes.
Right.
It was so fun to watch, and it was fun to act.
It was my favourite scene to do in the film, to end it with the opening, which in so many films is like really the most important. And that scene says so much about their relationship. Like so much happens in the space of those 3 minutes. So it was brilliant that Greta let us do that at the end.
Another great relationship in the film is you and your best friend, Lady Bird and her best friend.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me about finding Beanie.
She came in and auditioned, and she just sat in front of me and gave essentially very close to the performance you see in the movie. It was big-hearted, it was tender, it was so funny, and it was so lived in. And she left the room, and I said, "Who's that girl?" Yeah. And then they said, "Beanie Feldstein." I said, "Get her back."
Yeah. I know a lot of my knowledge about American high school comes from, you know, The Breakfast Club or maybe Clueless, not very realistic. But did you have to do extra prep in creating that feel of American high school?
I mean, it is kind of like that.
Yeah, it is.
Like I grew up watching Saved by the Bell and it wasn't that far off. I'm essentially Kelly Kapowski.
Yeah.
It's such a great impact to see a female experience on the big screen. I think a lot of people underestimate the power of representation. Is that very important to you both?
I think a lot of women have a lot of experience projecting themselves onto male stories because that's what we have. And I think it's a big deal when you see a woman's story and you suddenly realize, like, wait, I don't have to imagine myself as a boy. I can just be here and watch this, and they have to imagine themselves. It's amazing. And I wanted to raise up these stories and what it means to be a person as a young woman or as a mother, and getting to watch Beanie and Saoirse crack each other up, eating communion wafers, talking about masturbation felt like a real step in the right direction.